Hey YouTube, still keeping one here. A few days ago I made a video about precious metals and savings. Since then I've gotten a lot of comments, emails, and messages, mostly about how that works and that helps. A few of you asked me to go deeper into silver math. And silver math is figuring out how many ounces of silver you could purchase with the money you're about to spend on something else that you do not need. And I would say need or want, actually. It's the figurative value equalizer, I'd say. So I got a little demonstration to show how that works a little bit. Now let's say, see, I have silver eagles here, everybody knows them. Let's say for argument that these are about $20 each. It's very close to that. But for this video, we can use that. So there's some costs that everyone goes through every month that they really don't have to. And I know this is not going to fit everyone, but it's just a demonstration. It can be on different levels, but it figures out to be the same. It may not be the same amount of silver or money, but it's very close, So let's start. Let's say you got that new car and your payment is $400 a month. Now, I'm not saying your payment is that. It could be less or more. It could be that also. But when you're figuring out in dollars what you owe, you have a different thought process. You say, okay, $400, that's in my budget. I agree to pay that. That's acceptable to me when you're using dollars. Now, for stackers and serious stackers, which I consider myself, I think of things in silver, not just dollars. So that same $400 a month is one of these right here. A tube of eagles every month. And that makes you really think, especially if you have a stack. You'd give that $400 up probably a lot easier than going in there and taking out a tube of these. And I know I would. I'd feel much better paying the cash, and I know many of you would feel the same. Let's say you go out and get coffee 3 times a week, and spend that money right here. That's what you're spending, just about. And that is every week, if that's one of your habits. Then let's say, you're eating out that extra 2 times a week. Right there, when you don't have to. That's what you're spending right there. Then, you see those pair of shoes when you're walking through the mall. You buy those. Now, this stack will probably be a little higher for most of you, especially the ladies. But this right there, depending on the cost. But that's what you'd be going in there and spending. Let's say, that new iPhone came out. That new Samsung Galaxy phone came out. You're either paying a monthly fee, because no one does the contracts anymore, or you're buying it outright. That's a minimum right there. 30 of these, minimum. Probably even 5 or 6 more of these right there. And if you're paying that monthly fee, you're leasing or paying to own, there's that one right there every month. Going right there. Then let's say everyone does it. You spend a little money here, a little money there, you don't know where it went, you spend your change. Let's say that adds up to about this. Everyone does it. You see something in the aisle, on your way out when you're checking out. And let me just interject really quickly about those impulse buys. You go to the store to buy something, you see that really good sale, and you say, wow, that's a really good deal, and you buy it. It's 25% off, I can't not buy it, you say to yourself. Now, if you did not go there to buy it, and you don't need it, and you bought it because it was on sale, you did not just save 25% of that price. You lost 75% of it, because it was an impulse buy that wasn't necessary. And that's why on your way out there's such enticing items around to pique your interest when you're about to pay. So So don't fall into that trap. Me, for one, I was one of these. On the next one, you got that cable package, 300 channels, and you only watch 3. You know, so many of us do it. You know, we have all those premium channels. We watch 1 movie a month. You know, get rid of that. Get rid of that. You don't need that. This is what that's costing you at minimum, depending on how many of those you're paying for, those channels. So there are various reasons why we spend money when we don't have to. But let me get this out of the way. And you know, let's say that was just my month last month. I'm going to show you this next. Let me set it up here. Okay. All that you were paying for and buying, it's right there, just for that last month, right there. Now, where's that coffee you drank? Where's those upsized fast food combos you bought? You know, where is it? Where are those channels on the cable package that you didn't watch? Where are they? They're gone. There's nothing left. That car that you didn't need to buy because you had a fairly new car, you had a car that worked. You know, those expenses that you impulsively set up for yourself. Where is that? They're nowhere. Let's say you spent that money elsewhere, like this. This would still be here. It is here. It's here now. Right there. And if you're a stacker and you can see this amount of silver and say, wow, you know, that's a lot of silver. You would, if you had the money and you're a stacker, you'd be like, wow, you know, I could buy this. You know, I want this. I want to add this to my stack right now. You do. You're just spending it on other things. And I'm not saying go and buy silver or gold. I'm saying invest in yourself. Use the money for something that returns value. That comment I made in the beginning about sending a full tube of Eagles to the car company every month. The reason that hits you differently than the money is because that is giving away something of value. See, the dollars, people just see a dollar as a dollar, and it's always a dollar. People see gold and silver differently because it has a value. But if you replace that value, that cost, with the value of silver, it makes you think a lot differently. You know, I could give this to my son. You know, I just didn't spend all that money that I talked about in the beginning and just had this. And I could give it to my son. I could give it to the next generation. I could have even just kept the money. I could have invested in real estate. I could have put it in a CD, and even that would grow a little bit. But hey, growing a little bit is a lot better than losing it. So this was the point of my video. I just wanted to make it visual for people. I know it's easier for me when I see it like this. But this is it, people. This is all that. Right there. I'd rather have this than the coffee. But that's just my preference. Now again, I'm not telling you to go and buy anything. I'm not saying buy silver, buy gold, nothing. I'm not even telling you to not drink coffee. I'm just giving you information so you can make an informed decision for yourself. I hope I struck a chord with someone, because this can be changed. This can be changed. That extra interest payment you paid on your credit card, gone. Never to come back again. That debt you're in just keeps getting bigger and bigger unless you do something about it. You have to change what you're doing with your money. Stop spending money without thinking about the consequences. It's rampant consumerism. Most of the things that we are buying, we do not need. Just think about that. And I see it as you're on a highway. and the highway of spending and going into debt, there's an exit coming up. You just got to take it. You can keep going straight if you want. You can stay on it, or you can exit and get on going back the other way. It may not be right here. You know, I can't stop right now. Yeah, you got 1.5 miles to the next exit. Yeah, you got all that time. Oh, you missed that one? Get on the next one. Get off. Get off on the next one. You know, it doesn't end. It's not over. Start now. Do something now. If you want to not have to work later on in life, stop the playing and work now so that you can play later. And you will be thankful for yourself and for doing that for yourself and the people you care about, because you do not want to be retired and have to go back to work. You do not want to do that. I've never retired, of course. I'm not of retirement age, but I'm sure I wouldn't want to go back and start working again after I was done. So hope someone makes a change. And again, the change can be very small. Very small. You have some coins in the cup holder of your cars. Start putting that in a jar. You know, when I was younger, my mother taught me every time I bought something to put the change in a jar to save. Every time. It doesn't matter how much or how little it was. Just spend the money, keep the change. And just think of that jar as your bank account. Now, that change would be gone. You know, it drops out of our pockets, you know, it's thrown in fountains, but it adds up. Everything adds up, and everything you do is like a domino effect. It starts off small and just keeps going. And it can get as elaborate as you make it. You're doing the design. You do the design of it and you start it. And you're going to be there when it's finished. You're not going to set up that whole domino arrangement, start knocking them over, and then walk out later. No, you're going to be there the whole time, and you're going to see how it ends for yourself. It's the same thing. Just start now, build up, watch, learn, and be happy. Okay, didn't mean to let this video go on this long again, but I hope that this was not a waste of time for anyone watching it. Okay, thanks a lot, YouTube.